Am I the asshole for no longer being the maid of honor for my sister's wedding after her fiancé humiliated me? My sister is getting married soon to Nino. As part of the pre-wedding celebrations, our family is visiting Nino's family in Italy. My dad is very good friends with Nino's dad and uncle as they all grew up together, so this isn't our first time meeting most of them. Nino has a cousin, Luca, who I made an enemy out of when I was 9 because I told our dads that he pushed me into the water when I actually slipped, and he got into a shitload of trouble. I haven't seen him since we were children, so I thought he would be over it by now, but he very clearly wasn't and seemed to hate my guts judging by how he looked at me. He's going to be Nino's best man, and since I was supposed to be the maid of honor, I thought it would be good for us to put the past behind us, so I tried to apologize to him multiple times in English, but he acted like he couldn't understand and he only ever spoke Italian around me. I asked Nino to translate my apology for me, but he told me it would mean more if I said it to him myself in Italian to show that I was genuinely sorry. He taught me how to say what I wanted to say, but Luca was never alone, so I was finding it hard to find a chance to apologize. One day he was sitting with a group outside and Nino told me to just say it in front of everybody since Luca was avoiding me. I said it, and everybody who spoke Italian found it hilarious. I had no idea what was so funny until Luca asked me in English to repeat what I said. I tried to apologize in English, but he told me to say it in Italian again. After I said it, he stood up and told me to come inside with him and he would fuck my brains out. I was angry and embarrassed, so I told him to stop being disgusting, and he told me that was what I just said to him. Nino found it hilarious, as did everybody else. I yelled at him and so did my sister. I ended up telling them I wouldn't be the maid of honor anymore because the groom was a prick. My sister is begging me not to drop out of her wedding and has told Nino to apologize multiple times, but I still don't want to do it or be around Luca and Nino more than necessary. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You were fucking 9 years old. Fuck that whole lot. Not the asshole. This is disgusting. I wonder if OP's and Nino's dad have been told about this. Don't give in to your sister on this. Not the asshole. Seriously, what kind of brother-in-law is that? He clearly don't respect you. What he thought he would achieve with this prank. You shouldn't be guilty about not wanting to be Mo anymore, and you sister should understand your side. If she even have to ask him multiples times to apologize. If I were her, I would be thinking if I really want to be with a person like that for the rest of my life. NTA, their idea of payback was entirely disproportionate to what you did as a child. I am not familiar with Italy, but in my home country rape culture is a real problem, so a joke like this would go beyond unfunny and into danger territory. Not the asshole. Cousin needs to get over himself and grow up, and the groom is a real piece of work. You don't need to be around those people. I wish your sister luck in the life she has chosen. Your sister is marrying a child, it would seem. Who behaves that way? Am I the asshole returning the money to my mill in front of everyone, embarrassing her? Me, 28F, and my fiancé, 27M, are getting married in March. I come from an upper-class family and my fiancé is lower middle class. This is a delicate matter for his family. Despite me being able to pay all the costs of the wedding, my parents gave the equivalent of 70% of the value of the wedding as a gift, which would be around $30,000 fictitious value, and, fortunately, my parents did not use this gift as a form of want to control everything at the party. When my fiancé's parents learned that my parents had given this gift, my fiancé and I didn't mention it, my sil, snitched on them. They decided to give their gift as well and gave 3 kelvins, an amount for which I was very grateful to have received. And I deeply regret doing this, especially for my mill. I don't plan on having a traditional wedding party. My dress won't be white, lilac. There will be no religious ceremony and it will be a party for only 30 guests, and my fiancé agrees and supports this. This bothers my mill a lot, especially the dress not being white. Over time, she gave up on imposing the idea of a big party and not having a religious ceremony, but the dress is something she annoys me too much. And it continues even though I snapped on her or my fiancé tells her to stop. Because of that, we are in LC with her. Yesterday, it was my SIL's birthday and I went with my husband. Obviously my mill was there. Not even 5 minutes after I stepped into the party, she started again with the idea of me having to wear white because it's an important tradition, and it got to the point where she was talking to her sisters about how this new generation doesn't respect traditions and that she was sorry, afraid of these new parties. I had my limit when she spoke loud and clear that in her time, the bride and groom respected their parents' opinions, even more so if they help pay for the wedding. I was very angry and said, enough. I can't take it, it's not worth listening to other people's shit for this money. I had this money in my pocket and was going to deposit that same amount in the bank later, but I gave up and gave it to her in front of everyone. And I added that now she won't say anything, because she's not helping. This generated a confusion of tremendous proportions, my fiancé's entire family fighting on me, saying that I humiliated her in front of everyone and demeaned the amount they gave. Well, I had to leave early so it wouldn't get any worse. My fiancé understands why I did it but said it wasn't my best moment and I could have done it in private and not in front of everyone. Am I the asshole? Extra. Explaining some doubts in the comments. 1. It is not $1 and the values are fictitious, it was only given as a parameter of values only. 2. I didn't have exactly 3 kelvins in my purse. Translator was wrong here. It was close to 2K and I was going to deposit after the party. 3. I've lived with my husband for years, we've been married for years and we're just getting official, so I call him husband or fiancé, whatever. 4. My Sil found out about this money, because my husband, they are very close, told her that he was happy that my parents covered more than half of the expenses and this amount not spent on the wedding, we saved to start IVF next year. I think that's it. Ha 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 ha. Not the asshole. Sucks to suck Mill. Act like an A in front of others, be treated like an A in front of others. Not the asshole. Never understand the argument that people who start shit in public should be given the consideration of dealing with them in private. Mill started it, you finished it, she'll think twice the next time. Not the asshole. If she wanted to play the "I'm paying for the wedding" card, then you had every right to give the card back and take it off the table. She is the one that made it public, not you. Do not respond to any of the drama and continue forward with grace. You cannot control how people behave, but you can control you react. You did what you had to, now leave it at that. Not the asshole. She brought it up and was trash-talking you in front of everyone. You shut her up in front of everyone. Well done. In my opinion, you did a good job showing her how she cannot treat you. And probably saved yourself a lot of Mill headaches in the future. Not the asshole. Had you done it privately, Mill still could have continued, since no one knew you gave the money back. She didn't give you problems privately. Why should you give her more consideration than she gave you? If she's embarrassed, too bad. She made you feel bad and now she's the victim? No way. Not the asshole. She kept trying to shame you into doing what she wanted in front of everyone and you shut her down in front of everyone. Why does she deserve a level of respect that she wasn't capable of showing you? Am I the asshole for saying, "I told you so" at my Sil and brother's wedding? I, 27F, have known for Sil for 3 years. She's the type of person that always needs to be right and needs to be in charge of everything. She's very demanding as well. My SIL's family members are very disrespectful and rude. They don't clean up after themselves, expect everyone to act like maids or servants around them, and they think very highly of themselves. They can never be wrong and think they can do no wrong. Because of this, my SIL's family don't really punish their kids. Like they have no consequences. They aren't even like the gentle parenting type either. My SIL's sister has a son and he's extremely chaotic. He throws tantrums if he doesn't get something and he has to be center of attention 24/7. When there are birthdays he needs a gift or opens the gifts and needs to blow out candles. It's frustrating, which is why I'm not usually around at family gatherings and other stuff. I was my Sil since her friend cancelled on her and I was helping make invitations. I saw one of the names were SIL's nephew. I asked if she wanted him to go and she said yeah. She then asked why. So I told her why. I talked about his tantrums and how he'll probably throw a fit during the reception and other stuff. She got mad and said that she didn't know what I was talking about. She told my family and her sister, which caused her sister to write me a message saying how I was wrong and other stuff like that. Well, day of the wedding comes. Everyone comes in happy except nephew. He's crying and is about to throw a fit. When my Sil came out he literally started screaming. The poor pastor had to stop and wait for the parents to leave. During the after party he was back and again crying. When they were cutting the cake he screamed extremely loud. He pushed my Sil, who was holding a glass of wine, and spilled on her. She started crying. She turned around to leave and I looked at her and said, "I told you so." She started crying even more now. When I got home my mom called me extremely immature and wants me to apologize. So, AITA? You are the asshole. This is absolutely a "you're not wrong Walter, you're just an situation." It doesn't matter that you were right. There was no need to be that person in the moment. Bad moment to say something like that, but man, I wish I was there to see it. They got mad at you for trying to save the wedding from drama. Then you're proven right. And now it's suddenly not okay. Again, bad timing, but I love the pettiness. I'm a pass on judgment here, but say I'd have totally done the same thing, and I find this hilarious. I'm saying NTA. It'd really, you are a justified asshole. You raised your concerns. Your still ignored them, which was fine. She then told you were wrong, which you weren't, but that's fine. She then told her family, who sent you messages about, "How could you say that about my child," which was really wrong. Your still spread your warning to her family, who then messaged you. This entitles you to say, "Fuck you, you were wrong, I was right, I told you so." Am I the only one that laughed? Nope, not the asshole. You warned her. It happened. Her sister is a shitty parent, which made her nephew a shitty kid. And you told her significant other that he would behave as he always does at their wedding. And he did. You were right, and you tried to help her, and she got mad at you. Now she knows, and there's no shame in pointing it out. It's worth everyone being mad at you. Pointing out someone else's kid's shitty behavior should not get you AITA in this day and age. Putting up with shitty kid behavior should. You're not the asshole. Am I the asshole for not meeting my dying father? I have absolutely no contact with my parents. I don't talk to them, I don't visit them, to be honest. I rather never see them again in my life. This might sound bad, but I do have my reasons. I was kicked out of my parents' house the day after my 18th birthday. My father claimed that an 18-year-old is already an adult, and they should be able to live by themselves. Just a heads up, I was still in high school when that took place. I worked part-time, but I couldn't afford housing. I slept on the streets for about a few weeks until I found a shelter. Not only that, but I had too many rough days after that. The streets are no place for anyone, especially someone that young. Through the help of some NGOs, I managed to finish school. Get into a technical course for programming, and get a decent job. Now, 10 years after that, I just graduate college. I saved up to actually do that. However, I can't forgive my parents. I never contacted them, and they didn't contact me. That was until yesterday. Somehow my family, uncle, got my phone contact and sent me a message. My father is extremely sick, and it is likely that he might pass away in the next few days. My uncle told me that my father wanted to see me for a last time and asked if I could go there. I said I would not go. I absolutely resent and bear a grudge against my father and my mother. He kicked me out, and she did absolutely nothing to stop it. As you might assume, me uncle started to get heated and called me heartless, ungrateful and asshole, among other things. I'm pretty sure most of my family feels the same way about me. Honestly, I'm only asking here for my sanity's sake. I will not be meeting them, but I understand that the man is dying, and by not going I'm denying something to a dying man, which might make me an asshole. However, even if it does, I do not care. I rather be an asshole than see those two ever again. He's an adult, he's old enough to die on his own. F your uncle and F your dad. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. The day he kicked you out is the day you were no longer his child. And just because he's dying does not mean you have to forgive him for what he did. You have every right to not visit him. And he's most likely not gonna apologize and try to justify what he did. Not the asshole. Your parents did not support you the way parents should. He is not owed a visit. He will have to live, and die, with the consequences of his actions. 100% not the asshole, but I'm a bit of a vindictive biatch at times, so I'd visit. Just once, to tell your dad that you wanted to check that he's actually dying, and will never forgive him, and that you hope this haunts him until his last breath. Earth scorched and salted. But you may need therapy if you go this route. In fact, you may need therapy regardless. Good luck, op, and look after yourself. Not the asshole. They are not your family anymore, they are mere strangers. You own nothing to that man. Not the asshole. He isn't asking for you, so he can make peace with you. He's asking for himself. He wants his peace before his death. Just another selfish act. I think you are right in refusing to see him. He doesn't deserve what he is asking for.